Hello, it's Jo from Little Rainbow Moon here, and welcome to my first sketchbook flip through. I have got more than one sketchbook, so this is the first one, which finished in August of last summer. So not everything in here is a finished piece of work, as you'll see. It's just my place to kind of try out different things and do some of the artwork in. So I'm just going to start and show you some of the things that I've got. So this page was just me sort of trying out some different things, some different ideas. As I said, lots of the things in here aren't finished, and a lot of it didn't make it into the shop. Just my place to kind of experiment with different letterings. I decided to stay well clear of the whole Disney thing. It's a bit of a minefield with copyrights. I was thinking about some business cards. This is quite old, this sketchbook, so this is kind of right at the beginning of Little Rainbow Moon. So the only kit work you'll see in here is July and August, first two kits. These were two things I was just doing for my daughter actually. We've got a Chihuahua and a pug, so I was just making her some little things that she wanted for her bedroom. These I did turn into journal cards. Yeah, some just different ideas. These are, oh, what are these? All sorts of things these are done with. I will do another video on all my favourite art materials. These are lots of acrylic paints, watercolour pencils, pens, collage, all sorts of things. Me trying out different colours. And then I did a few dashboards and quote cards with a kind of spacey theme. These are in my shop. They weren't part of a kit or anything, it was just a kind of, yeah, little one-off thing. But I do love painting galaxies, as you'll have seen from my my Out This World kit, which is actually in the other sketchbook. But yeah, these were, oh, lots of different materials, inks, the dilution sprays, acrylic paints. There's some stenciling with the patterns here. There's some glitter paints, lots of acrylics, all sorts of things going on here. And, yeah, some more. I did turn these into quote cards. And then this was an idea for a dashboard I had. It was actually from an Instagram competition I did right back in the beginning, where people just suggested designs for dashboards, and this one was somebody wanted their vintage caravan, so just kind of sketching it out and then painting it here with a quote. This was a dashboard I did, so again I just sketched out the elephant and then transferred it again. Oh, lots of inks and stamps and collage on this one. I kind of changed my style a bit recently. I'm doing a lot more sort of watercolours, but when I first started this shop I was doing more yeah, sort of acrylics and stamping. I very, very rarely use stamps now. Didn't like this at all, hated it, so yeah, that never went anywhere. Needed this, a hideous fox. He was horrible, didn't like him, so he didn't get used. Okay, back to some more galaxy inspired paintings with some quotes on. More galaxies. I did turn these into dashboards. Lots of ink sprays, stamping. These ones are quite textured. I was very into sort of the textures then. Some little like embossing stars. Loads of different materials on there. And then I colour photocopied them, or scanned them into my computer, printed them, and then wrote some quotes out on. And there are a couple of dashboards in the shop. What's next? It's quite fun having a look back actually. It just seems like so long ago that I did these now. Another spacey one. A seahorse. I haven't got any seahorse things in the shop at the moment, but I do really want to do an underwater themed kit, so you'll have to look out for that one. Again, a lot of these things are just, they're not finished things for artwork for the shop. They're just doodles and practices and different coloured paints trying out some different roses there, different techniques. Oh, that one, yeah, this is a Delusions sketchbook, by the way, Delusions journal. I do love the paper, but I do tend to get mine very, very wet. So this has kind of started coming away at the spine, but the paper is amazing for mixed media work on watercolours and yeah, stuff like that. Then we've got, oh yeah, that one, I'm not sure if that went into anything in the end. I also do sort of different backgrounds. So this is, I have used this background, so I'll do, yeah, sort of the ink sprays or whatever I want. Then I'll do lots of photographs of the backgrounds and use those in my artwork and my designs. Just practicing some lettering, not very well. I'm not very good at lettering. These were some ideas for a custom dashboard I did. Just trying out some different techniques. Painting some flowers, more lettering, some poppies which I didn't like. I just wasn't pleased with that. Some more backgrounds. Ink sprays. This is when I was getting more into the ink sprays. I've discovered the Delusions ink sprays and I love them. Painting some roses, more letterings, experimenting with just some different backgrounds, different painting techniques. This was when I had the time to do custom dashboards, which unfortunately I don't anymore. So this was a custom dashboard for somebody. More backgrounds. Painting some flowers. I think these were painted with the Delusions ink sprays, so I kind of just used them as watercolours, and I think it's got some pastels in there as well. And spraying. Background which I used for dashboard, I think. Experimenting with some different colours. I think that one, yeah, I didn't use that one in the end. This was from work ideas for a custom dashboard, and then I just kind of fancied doing a journal page in here, although I don't tend to journal in my sketchbook. Well, I don't actually. I journal somewhere else, but yeah, just kind of fancy trying out a page there. That was a, when was that from? Summer I think, at my son. Painting some flowers, more backgrounds and flowers, lots of ink sprays. That was for a custom dashboard. Some more backgrounds. Now this is when I think up until here I'd not even done stickers, so this is when I first started experimenting with some stickers. So I was doing some backgrounds again, a bit more journaling, do some experimenting, more flowers, lots of flowers. I do like painting flowers actually. Yep, painting more flowers. More backgrounds. A few more flowers. And then this was a background. So what I'd sometimes do is it's hard to explain, but say I'll do a background like this with sort of the green, and then I'll do the flowers separately, and then I'll photograph them both and then manipulate them on the computer and yeah, put them all together. Now this was my first kit, my July kit, Follow Your Dreams. Now this got wet, so these aren't how they looked originally, but these were some feathers I painted. Some of the artwork is separate because I also use watercolour paper, and rather than a sketchbook for that I just have yeah, it's all loose. Backgrounds, more backgrounds, more backgrounds, and flowers, which I didn't really use, didn't like it. This was the design for the dashboard for my first kit for the Follow Your Dreams. So that was the artwork that then, yeah, turned into the dashboard. And then I think I've got some of the August butterflies for the butterfly garden. I used some of the flowers that I'd done before, I think, but a lot of the artwork for this was on watercolour paper, but there are some of the butterflies that I used. I think I used that one. I used these ones. These ones were stamps that I painted. And some flowers for the kits, for the butterfly garden kit. I don't think I used those, but yeah, I was kind of going for the garden theme. And that is my first sketchbook flip through. I painted this and then I realised afterwards that it's the back, and I haven't got round to painting the front. So I'm going to turn this off now, and I'm